Hi everybody, so welcome again, and it's time for our beaver crafts. Who can believe it's come round again? I have to say, fantastic work on the Everest challenge this weekend. We've had loads of photos coming through and really love the pictures and seeing all the effort you put in. It's been amazing. Your prayer flags, the flags at the summit, the food that you've been eating, the clothes you wore, the oxygen tanks. It's been brilliant, and some more photos will be going on Facebook as they come. So what are we going to do this week? Well, it was kind of inspired whilst I was doing the Everest challenge, because as much as I was going up, the thought of coming back down again to go back up, I thought, there has to be an easier way to get down here. Well, there wasn't. I just had to do it. But that did give me an idea for a craft. So I thought this week, how about we make little parachutes, okay? So here you go, my green and yellow string on here, and this little dude, I think he might be looking, hold him straight, he might be looking a little bit terrified there. That's the guy that's going to be parachuting down. Now, it's not too remarkable if I throw him from here. That won't look brilliant, but I'll show you anyway. He'll probably land like a sack of potatoes. Just a minute. Oh, it wasn't too bad, I guess. But I've done a video of me throwing him from the top of my Mount Everest. So he actually flew down my stairs, and you'll see that little video in a little tick. But first I'll show you how to do it. So the next volunteer to go on a parachute is this guy. Now Jamie tells me this is Deadpool, whoever, but you can find whoever you want to put on a parachute. It doesn't have to be a Lego figure. You might have a little doll, you might have a little keyring or something that you want to attach. That's absolutely fine. So how did I do it? It's quite easy to do this week. So you had some of this stuff in your craft pack. It's called crepe paper. And all you need to do with the crepe paper is cut a circle to begin with. So to make it a little bit easier, you can fold it, or you could draw around a plate or something like that. Whatever you find easiest. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Just enough to give you a rough circle. Oh, that was a good guess, wasn't it? Right, so next thing I need to do is put some holes into here to put the string round. But the thing is, if you just put the holes through the tissue paper would rip. So can you see here, I've put a little bit of sellotape on first before I've put the holes on. And what the sellotape does, that will just help to make the tissue paper a little bit stronger where the string's being held. So I've got myself 4 pieces of sellotape, and I'm just going to stick them and put them over like so. So I've got the sellotape on both sides, and it's just strengthen, that's all it's doing. Then you get another piece of sellotape, and you have to go to the opposite side of the piece that you've just put on. It doesn't have to be exact, but you do need to put them so that I've got one there and one there. And then I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. So I've got one in all the directions. I have to say my knees are just recovering from climbing Mount Everest. It was quite tough this weekend by the end. But did you see Splash? He got a lift up to the top with me as well. I think he enjoyed the view. So there, I've got my 4 bits of sellotape on there. And then you can just put a hole through with a pencil, but I've got myself a hole punch just because I found that easier, but you don't have to do it. Like I say, you can use a pencil, you can use some scissors. And I'm just punching a hole through the sellotape and the tissue paper. There's my second hole. And then we're coming up to my 3rd hole. And these are great fun. Even if you haven't got a staircase, you might be able to find somewhere else where you can throw them. If it's not a very windy day outside, you can actually go outside and just throw them up in the air and they'll come back down. So there I've got my 4 holes in my 4 bits of sellotape. So the next thing I'm going to do, I've got myself some wool or some string, whichever. Now I happen to have found some green wool and some yellow wool. I wonder why. And the main thing here is just to get them the same length. So at the moment I've cut off 2 lengths. My parrot is so noisy sometimes. And it always starts as soon as I start recording. And then I'm going to fold it over so that I've now got 4 pieces of string. pretty much the same. So I've got 2 green and 2 yellow. And all I'm going to do is thread the end through the hole. Yes, that's right, crackers. Through the hole and make a little knot in it. And because the sellotape's on there, that's going to help it stay strong and stop it from ripping through the edge of the tissue paper. Or the crepe paper, I should say. Crepe paper's quite weird because it's quite stretchy. So I'm going to put my green string opposite each other. But you don't have to use green and yellow. You can use whatever you've got to hand. And like I say, you might have fun testing different things. So another idea you can do, you could try testing a bigger parachute with a bigger object. So maybe you've got a teddy bear. Not a massive one, but a teddy bear you want to try. So the only thing I'll say is the parachute, so that's the bit at the top, the material, that needs to be bigger than the thing that's going to be coming down on it. So my little Lego Deadpool is quite small and my parachute is quite big. So the last one I'm just tying on now. So you can see I've got 4 pieces of string on my material, which is going to be my parachute. There you go. There's the string on it. The next thing is a little bit tricky. So what I found best to do, if I fold the circle back into quarters, that's 4, and then 8s, because I folded it over again, it kind of looks a little bit like a jellyfish, I suppose, with the legs dangling down. But I find it easier just to work with by just making my parachute a bit of a cone with the legs dangling down. Then you can either tie them all on individually. Now you probably need a bit of a help with this because it can be a little bit fiddly. Or you can just tie them all together to keep your person hanging off, or your doll. So if I show you the first one, 1, 2, 3, have I got all that? Yeah. If I show you my first person, my first little Lego man, I tied those on individually around his arm and around his back, like so. This one, Deadpool, must be a Marvel character. I'm going to, you're probably all shouting at me now who Deadpool is. I'm going to tie it around his neck. Poor Deadpool, but it'll look like he's wearing a First Wigton scarf, won't it? Okay. So, there we go. He's tied round there. Come on, Deadpool, you're not behaving tonight. There you go. Now he is. So he's got a bit of a First Wigton scarf on him there. He's like, no! Perhaps I should put his hands up a bit to help him. There. And that's about it then, really. All you need to do, in fact it looks like he's climbing up there now, doesn't it, Deadpool? All you need to do is open up your parachute, like so. You hold it in the centre, a bit like that, and then you go to the top of your Mount Everest or wherever, and you throw them down your Everest, down your stairs, and hopefully you'll see them swing down to the bottom. I don't know if this will work, but I'll throw him up and see just how quickly he hits the table. Let's see. Oh, he'd definitely do better with a bigger drop. Okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, go! So you can see there just how they managed to get down my particular mountain really quick. Okay, have fun and I'll see you next week. Bye!